I was like, yeah, I am, bro. That was totally planned.
I'll have to slip it in.
This Nomad has got a lot of tails, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
These songs are great, but just stick to English. I was obsessed with her and this bad boy image.
Cheeky boy.
Ni hao, ma.
What does that mean, Daddy? What's happening, people? And welcome to the Wavio Records podcast, episode 6. And today we've got a very special episode with
Zulu Abantu. Was a good gang.
And my name's Rangu. Unfortunately, Krids cannot be here today because he's currently on holiday, celebrating his birthday as well, which was the other day, wasn't it?
It was, yeah, it was.
And,
happy birthday, Krids. We miss you, bro.
Happy birthday, Krids. We wish you right here. Oh, I should have sent him a message saying we're going to FaceTime him.
That's alright. Let him enjoy his time on holiday with his family, with his baby and his lovely girlfriend.
And yeah, he'll be back soon now, so keep an eye out for that.
Hopefully the next episode, but if not, the show goes on.
The show goes on. The show always goes on.
Come on.
And
so what's today's episode about?
Today's episode is about. Right, there's a new artist in town. Well, not new actually. He's been around for a while. Maybe probably 10 years actually.
10 years.
Yeah,
10 years of the game.
Yeah, I don't know why I said new. It's he's been. He's had a new project that's about to drop. Oh, sorry, it's dropping today. It's just dropped.
Go on.
It's just dropped. It just dropped. And the artist, it's called Zulu Abantu.
Bang.
Oh, I'm sat right here with him right now.
Tales of the Nomad is out right now on all major streaming platforms. The Narcissist has just dropped as well. Sorry, I'm a bit ill. The music video's just dropped now. We've got numerous music videos out, so yeah, man, go check that out. It was Rangu's idea for us to have an episode talking about the album, breaking it down and whatnot. So, Rangu, let's get into it.
Yeah, definitely. It's Tales of the Nomad.
Yeah.
Tales of the Nomad.
Damn straight.
We know what a tale is.
Can we get that across get that across the screen? Tales of the Nomad, blinking.
Get that on there. Get that on here as well.
Blinking.
Or you're gonna put something else on here. Or
we'll see what our editor gets up to.
Oh, no,
He's really good at what he does.
Do not do me dirty. Please do not do that. Alright. I shouldn't have said that. I've given the idea now.
Yeah, literally.
Anyway.
Shoot yourself on the foot.
Anyway. So, Tales of the Nomads.
Yeah.
We know what a tale is.
Yeah.
But some people might not know what a nomad is.
Yeah.
And if you Google the definition of a nomad, and the definition comes up with a member of a people that travels from place to place to find fresh pasture for its animals and has no permanent home. I can't lie, Zulu, you don't really look much of a farmer to me. So explain to me, like, what's going on here?
I didn't even know that was the definition.
Breakfast.
What?
Sorry. Have you not seen that video?
No, I haven't. I'm glad I haven't.
What?
Breakfast. Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
I'll have to show you that later. What is going on here?
I apologise. I'm just very ill today. I'm not really used to Ranguisms right now.
Okay.
Nomad. To me, what a nomad is, the original meaning was kind of like that. Person who ain't really got a fixed home. Someone who's always travelling, looking for new opportunities and not afraid to go, far away from, home to find a new home. Do you know what I mean? To find something better. So yeah, that's what nomad means to me.
Yeah, and you've been around, haven't you?
I have been around.
You've been around.
I was born in England, born in Telford. Shout out all my Telfordians. When I was 6, I moved to Botswana in Africa.
Wait, so I thought you were born in Tottenham.
No, I wasn't born in Tottenham. Everyone. Well, some people assume that, but no, my sister lives in Tottenham, and I'd always go back and forth from Telford to Tottenham growing up. Yeah. But yeah, I was born in Telford, which is near Birmingham. I went to school, infant school there. Then when I was 6, I moved to Botswana. Africa, obviously, it was a big culture shock. I went from a primarily white town to
biggest rapper in Botswana.
I was honestly probably still am now. Actually, let me not take the piss. I don't know what the Botswana music scene is like.
So back then you were though.
Probably wasn't even then, bro. There's a scene there, mate. Do you know what I mean? I'm pretty sure Botswana's bigger than England.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about when Krids said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, then from Botswana I moved to Hungary. I moved to a small town in Hungary called Szarvas, where it's quite. no one really spoke English in that town, so I had to learn the language.
How old were you then?
I was 6 when I moved to Botswana, 8 when I moved to Hungary.
8, wow.
Yeah.
So already you've been to 3 countries.
Already, yeah. Well, my dad also worked a job where he travelled around a lot, so I was already quite well travelled, and you know, back to that whole nomad thing, is that like my dad was kind of the same as me, moved around his whole life, and then his dad was in the army, was a spy in the army, so he moved around as well. So I come from a long line of nomads, you could say.
It runs in the family.
It does run in the family.
That is mental.
Yeah.
And you came back from Hungary, and
I came back from Hungary, and then I it was weird. I feel like at that point when I came back from Hungary, I was 11, and I moved back to Telford, back to my mum's to get start prepping for my GCSEs. But like by that point, I was already just different. Do you know what I mean? I never really fit in. I mean, that's where the whole nomad thing comes in. I never really fit in anywhere. You know what I mean? Accepted by everyone, but ultimately accepted by no one. You know, when you can just drift around from circle to circle. You know, people was cool with me, but I wasn't really like really that tight with anyone. Do you know what I mean? Even like when I go back now, you know, it's nice to see old friends, but I'm just different. I've always been different. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's sad, but it's like a gift and a curse at the same time. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just you're a lone wolf.
Yeah,
maybe,
man.
In a way.
Some might say a nomad.
Oh, a lone man.
You know what I'm saying?
It's not called Tales of the Lone Wolf, is it?
Yeah, it's not called Tales of the Lone Wolf. Although that could be pretty cool.
It's
Who knows? In a few years, I might release Tales of the Lone Wolf.
Oh, that's amazing. I love that. Yeah, and now you're currently in Leeds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
big up Leeds.
Yeah. When I moved back to Telford, I got my GCSEs, got my A levels, and then I was desperate to get out because I was doing a lot of bad things in Telford, man. Getting sucked in, doing dumb shit I shouldn't have been doing. Mum, if you're watching this, I apologise for them years because I was a bad boy. But I went to uni down south in a place called High Wycombe.
Oh yeah.
Probably the worst place I could have moved because I was such an impressionable young man. Where I was doing bullshit, I was trying to fit in, and I was obsessed with her and this bad boy image. Do you know what I mean? So when I moved Wycombe, the things that I started doing in Telford, I just fucking did more of it in Wycombe. And I got stuck there over COVID after I graduated university. And
you studied music, isn't it?
I did study music. Yeah, I studied music there.
You got a lot of your experience and your techers, as I would call it.
Yeah, it was good. It was an experience. I mean, I learned a lot. Like, I think in Telford there wasn't a lot of rap. There's not that big of a scene. I'm not going to disrespect Telford because there are a few good rappers, but it wasn't that big of a scene. I moved down to Wycombe. There was a lot more grime artists, which was what I did at the time. There was a lot more competitive in it, so I had a reality check. From being one of the best in Telford to then moving to Wycombe, where there was a wealth of talent of that spanning across 16-year-olds right up to 30-something-year-olds. And I got a reality check that, I needed to improve a lot. Do you know what I mean? A lot of the guys thought I was shit there, so... Yeah. One of the many challenges I had to overcome, do you know what I mean?
I mean, I'll definitely say you proved yourself and showed yourself that you were the guy there. I mean, should we get into any of that, or should we save that for another episode?
What are you talking about there?
The them freestyles on YouTube.
The rap battle, the rap
battles.
That's another conversation, but yeah, we can revisit. That's a lot of content there. Let's revisit that another day. But yeah, I had some rap battles there, which I won. But yeah, we'll move on from that. We'll talk about it another time. Let's
get straight back to the album. So this album is actually, I mean, it's not just one album. It's actually 3 albums, a trilogy.
It is, yeah. Obviously, the first one's coming. Well, the first one's out today.
Yeah.
And then we've got the aim of releasing one every other month to get us from the start of the summer right to the end.
Well, that's that's a lot of material releasing.
There's a lot of tales.
A lot of tales.
This Nomad has got a lot of tales.
Yeah. It's really good to have. Actually, how does it feel to have a lot of material just in the bag and you've just got it all ready to? You could just release it whenever, couldn't you?
That was the initial plan. I was going to release a 25-track album, but I thought, it's so hard to get people to digest that. Do you know what I mean? So hard for people to. For me to get people to commit to a fucking 40-minute, 50-minute album, do you know what I mean? So I thought if I break it down into 3 parts, on this album, admittedly, so 5 of the tracks were already released. 2 are released this year, 3 are released last year, and but it's part of what began this sort of. I think this album there's a lot of reflection on this album. A lot of I went through a breakup 2 years ago, which kind of really affected my music, affected my sound. My name is Zulu Abantu, and I'm currently wanted by the police. Not for committing crimes, but for trying to break the narrative. The state of the music world is fucked right now. Either songs have no message, or they're pushing an agenda. I remember the days when an artist would release an album and I'd be excited for it. Nowadays it's just 10 tracks and gimmicks. If you live in England, you might have seen my posters up in one of your cities. My music isn't just meant for the English, it's meant for the world. Tales of the Nomad is out Friday, May 30th. It's not one to miss. If you don't believe me, then here's a little snippet. Let's go. See you on the other side. Up to my girl, babe. Yeah, she blowing out my brains, but I can get enough of her just singing out my name. I've been rapping since 2010. They know us, we don't know. So I decided to, break it down into 3 albums. As I said, 5 of the albums are already out right now. 3 are released last year, 2 are released this year. And it was all kind of influenced by a breakup I went through a couple of years ago, where I couldn't really find this feeling that I couldn't find my place. Really kind of shone, and I had a lot of pain. For the first time in my life, I was writing lyrics rather than most of my lyrics, which have been about me being the best and me being so good. I was actually writing lyrics and songs that reflected my emotion and sound. We're doing adverts now. This is crazy. I bet you think all the time, what a podcast, what a studio, how do these guys do it? Well, you can do it too, because we're open for business. Vocal recording, podcasting, mixing, mastering, engineering, whatever it is you need, we got you. Got 1 green screen, we got fucking 2 of them, bro. 2 of them, bro. So hit us up and let's make some fucking magic today.
Each track's like, quite different to the other tracks in terms of like the story that you're telling there, and they're sort of unique in their own way. Would you say there's any song in there that stands out to you, or do you have a favourite song?
Not really. I feel like most artists will get this, that when you make a song, at one point when you're making a song, that really is your baby. For me, every song I've ever made, I've always been convinced this is the one that's going to make it. This is going to be the one that does it. This is going to be the one that does it. Because at the time, I was feeling what I was feeling. Like, for example, Confessions on that album. I remember I was in a studio with Fanchu, and I was in the studio with Evening, two very good friends of mine. And they've been recording engineers for me and producers for me at times. And I've recently got into singing more. I was a singer when I was younger, but I've been doing rapping more. I've got back into singing, and I remember hitting this note. Save me. If you listen to the song, you hear it. I hit this note, and I remember like I could see them through the glass window, and they were like, I remember their faces, like it was like something from a movie.
There's a Confessions you're talking about.
There's Confessions, yeah. And I remember there's a moment of magic, and I remember hearing that, and for that reason, whenever I hear that song, it teleports me back to that moment where I saw the reaction of these guys see me do something not even I knew I could do. But then you got something like The Narcissist, which I wrote very quickly, but I've also, there's no better feeling than when you play one of your songs and to a room full of people and they're all just skanking, they're all just loving it. So that's a special song to me as well. Budapest, talking about a country, I'm singing in 2 languages, singing about a city of a country that I love dearly. So they all hold special moments to me. I can't really say any's my favourite. But one thing I will say is that obviously when I made this album, I felt recently that, not even recently, over the last 10, 20 years, albums just don't hit the same way they used to. When I was younger, I'd go to the shop. I remember one of my first albums was Encore by Eminem. I was listening to that album for
Classic
2 years.
Eminem.
I was listening to that for 2 years, and you'd listen to the main ones, and then you discover a different tune, and you'd be listening to that, and do you know what I mean? That album was giving you material for a year, 2 years, even 3 years. Whereas now albums, you listen to it in a day, and then it's who's got something next. Everything's so mass produced, so it's just like microwave music. That I wanted to try restore that value. I wanted to make an album that all 10 tracks they slap individually. So yeah.
And this one definitely slapped. And I was just about to say, I wish Krids was here because he'd have so much to say about Eminem. He
would.
Every time Eminem gets mentioned,
That's
goes.
That's why I fucking mention it when he ain't here. Fuck it. Jesus Christ. But shout out Krids, man.
I'll have to slip it in next time. Just get it in there.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, I'd just like to track back to some of them songs you mentioned.
Yeah.
I think the Nomad is the Narcissist is such a killer starter track. Like it couldn't have started better. You know what I mean? Like
it was probably when it came to picking the track listing, it probably was the easiest one to decide. It picked itself, didn't it?
Especially like when you compare it to your previous album. They see Zulu. How many years later is this? 5 years later.
5 years
Zulu
later.
Zulu Abantu 5 years later.
Yeah, I did start quite late.
And they play the Narcissist, and it's just this funk music, and before it's all this sort of like very UK sound, like drill, grime, and then they hear this funk that's just booming, and then I'm like, what is this? You know, like it's like a completely different artist almost.
Yeah, 100%. Well, I've been trying to like evolve and become something new. You know, people might say I'm big-headed or even narcissistic, but you know, I strive to be one of the best, if not the best. Like, I'm not doing this because I enjoy it, but I also do this because I genuinely believe that I've got what it takes to go as far as possible. Do you know what I mean? The sky's the limit, and there's no half measures for me. So I've been trying my best to evolve. If you've got me on socials, you see that this is all I ever do. I don't do anything else. I quit working about just over a year ago now, just to fully pursue this.
Respect.
And it's all I do. I mean, this studio we're in right now, Krids built it, but do you know what I mean? It's something that we did together, and like, honestly, if this could turn into a bed, I'd never leave this room. Do you know what I mean? So I'd like to think that and since the 5 years since my first mixtape, I have evolved a lot.
Maybe we should get a sofa bed.
Maybe.
And we could never stop making music.
Maybe. Who knows, man? Yeah. Who knows?
Who knows? Who knows? And I think I like to talk about the two other songs you mentioned, Confessions and Budapest, but especially Confessions. I think that
that's
one to
me
is
Rangu.
Yeah, I think it's easily the best out of every. Well, either that or Letter to Soprano are easily the best ones that you've released. And
you say that's a musician. That's a musician song. What do you say?
Confession. I would say it's for the musician, that one. A musician's.
Yeah. It's my dad's favourite as well, so for that reason, it's a very special song to me.
Yeah, you're a musician. You really show that you're a musician on that song. And
yeah, I think that was like really, you know, for a long time I've been known as a rapper that can sing, whereas I'm trying to flip the script now to be like a singer that can rap. And I feel like in Confessions, first time I kind of took the auto-tune off a bit, well, pretty much took it off completely. You know, I'm really singing. There's a band in it. There's a guitarist in it. Shout out Mark. Shout out No Total Films for being in the band and also filming it for me. So yeah, that one is it is a special one to me, to be fair.
Yeah, and that was filmed in Budapest, in Hungary.
No, that one was filmed in Szeged in a kind of like, I guess like a Leeds, Hungary's version of Leeds, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like a smaller city, but it's a really great city, honestly. If I was to move to Hungary, I'd probably move there. Wow. So yeah, man.
Yeah, and
this video is sponsored by Szeged.
And you know, for all the insane like beat switches, how it goes through sort of like different subgenres, and then that rocky style. There's a part in it which caught my attention. Actually, me and my brother were watching this video, and we noticed that you managed to get yourself in the confession booth.
I did.
With a bit of whiskey, didn't you?
Yeah, that was
cheeky boy.
That was actually a mad story, to be fair. I was with Evening, one of my older producers from Poland. He actually drove from Poland to Szeged
From Poland?
Yeah, to help, just to be there. He wanted to be there for the moment, help direct the video. So
did you take the what to Poland?
Huh?
Sorry,
these one-liners.
Another Ranguism.
Yeah, so he came through, and I had always had this vision of it being in a church. Obviously, the song's called Confessions, so I said to my cameraman, yo, can we get a shot of me in a confession booth? And he's like, yo, the priest will fucking chase us out of the building if we fucking film the video. If you film it in there, the police will get called. Hungary are really strict for that shit. If you can't film on like holy ground or some shit like that. So we were on a night out, and me and Evening were like, how are we gonna do this tomorrow? We're filming the video tomorrow. How are we gonna get this confession booth? And I was like, let's go for one more drink and we'll figure it out. And we go to this random bar, and it turns out the bar was a church-themed bar. and there was a fucking confession.
Church themed bar.
Yeah, it was like you walk in and like the windows.
That's
are,
a thing.
In Hungary, yeah, it's a chain. There's a chain of churches, and like the windows have got like the fucking what they call, you know, the colourful, the stained glass
windows. Yeah, what?
There's a confession booth just there. Honestly, yeah, we walked through the door and just like
I need to go to.
and the lights just shining on this fucking confession
Wow.
booth. Yeah, so the barmaid was there at the bar, and you know I gave a bit of the Zulu charm, and we managed to get her to let us film in there the next day, and we did it. So yeah, that's how we managed to do that one.
Never fails the Zulu challenge.
Never ever fails, man. I got Krids to build this, man. Do you know what I'm saying?
he's got me to sit here.
Yeah, exactly. Asking me questions about my album.
I love you really too.
Nah, come on, bro. It's all love.
It's all love. Yes. No. I need to. I think I need to go to Hungary at some point.
Bro, 100% we'll go there one day, man.
Really
honestly,
this is incredible.
I think it's starting to get the recognition it deserves because Hungary's got such a dear place to my heart. In Budapest, I've got this lyric where I say, "My family's not from here, they're magyar a szívem," which means my family's not from here, but my heart's Hungarian. I mean, it sounds better in Hungarian, but yeah. So the place, it's got a dear place in my heart. You know, I've got friends there. You know, it's probably one of the countries I could definitely move to. Budapest is one of the best cities in Europe. I think it's starting to get the recognition it deserves. Well, it has been over the past few years, but yeah, man, Hungary, shout out.
And that lyric you just said there, is that from the tune?
That's from Budapest, yeah. That is the only song I've got that I speak Hungarian, just because the writing lyrics of it's just a different level.
I mean, I didn't even. I couldn't imagine like singing another language. I didn't even speak.
Not even in Chinese. In Mandarin?
Yeah, unfortunately, with myself being half Chinese, I'll say at the moment, I don't know much Chinese, but one day, I'll get there.
Ni hao,
and my family will be proud of me for learning Chinese.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Come on, bro. What you should do it,
we'll get
sure your mum would be buzzing.
Yeah, she would. She would, indeed. Yeah, so you got two songs that you filmed in Hungary. You know, it's a really special place.
It is. Honestly, yeah. Yes. I always feel like I'm part Hungarian. It's got a dear place in my heart.
Yeah.
Also, probably after America and England, Hungary probably has my biggest fan base in Hungary. So I'm very grateful to all my listeners there. A lot of them are my friends. So yeah, shout them out, man. They're loyal to me, and hopefully one day I can repay that loyalty.
It sounds like you should make another one. To do with.
Fucking difficult, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if I should be saying this, but my Hungarian friends, they were all like, a couple of them liked it, but they were all like, bro, I think you should just if you're singing your songs are great, but just stick to English.
Oh, what?
Yeah, they were just like they would just prefer listening to it in English. They said like their favorite song of mine is No Going Back. That song gets like ridiculous Hungarian streams. They just prefer it. Wow. There's also I thought when I made that song I thought I was gonna be the only guy I've done it, but it turns out there's another guy who does the same thing. This English Hungarian, and it's really weird, yeah, in Hungarian because the sentence structure and the grammar is so much different. I speak like base English with putting Hungarian on it, whereas he does it like the other way around, base Hungarian and puts English on it, and his way does sound a lot better. It makes more sense. Do you know what I mean? More Hungarians speak English than English speak Hungarian. Yeah. So like it made more sense to them. Does that make sense?
Okay, yeah.
Whereas I was doing it with an English head, and he was doing it with a Hungarian head. Do you know what I mean? When I heard his thing, it is way better. But I just wanted to pay homage to Hungary.
It's probably why it popped off more in this country because
it did. Budapest popped off the most in England. Weirdly enough, it was my biggest streamed song in England. Like for a long time.
A lot of people I speak to, like, you know, do you have a favourite Zulu song? And a lot of them say like Budapest, like literally because it's the intrigue of that.
Yeah,
like,
I think also the
like,
fucking thumbnail as well. Music video is me next to the House of Parliament in Hungary.
It's a sick music video.
The video is dope. Again, shout out Total Films and shout out Mark Volok.
Everything about it's sick. The whole filming, the scenes, the drip.
Shout out to Mara as well. TJ, she was the model in that video.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man, the drip was nice. I was wearing the Hungarian colours.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why.
It was not planned at all. I just when I got there, my cameraman was like, "Zulu, you're wearing the Hungarian colours," and I was like, "Yeah, I am, bro. That was totally planned."
Can we get a Hungarian flag on there? I didn't.
I mean, bro, I could just leave it green, and that's pretty. It's green, white, and red. So it's an Italy flag, but like the other way.
Oh yeah. I study geography. I should know that. But,
You should. You should, Rangu.
Oh, well.
You should. Honestly, mate. The Hungarian viewers aren't going to be happy.
How many stars does the Chinese flag have?
1, 3. So how many?
I think it's 5. Should I have a look?
I play for a Chinese football team, mate. They're going to kick me off.
If I'm wrong, I'm going to get this owned here. 5 stars, get it, lads.
Alright.
3 stars, 1 star.
Hey, yo, leave in the comments what country are you from? Bam.
Yeah.
Oh, there's one other thing as well I want to talk about the album, actually. There's not a lot of features on this album, but I do have 2 people featuring.
Oh, yeah.
One's from one of my older songs. It's called Melody of Love. This was like really what kickstarted my career back off with Elena Maya. She's a very dear friend of mine. She's super talented. I think she's coming over after this podcast.
Oh, is she?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, wow.
She's a fantastic singer. We made this song just over a year ago. It's been remastered, so it does sound a bit different. But yeah, she's an incredible singer. She's just got a project coming out called Atlantis. She doesn't release a single, there's an album coming. But yeah, man, check her out. She's honestly so talented. And then the second one.
Sorry, I just want to say I was listening to that today, and her voice on that is incredible. She's one of the best. She's one of the best singers I know. Like period. Honestly.
100%.
That's the first time I said period. Sorry.
Yeah.
No, but honestly, yeah, she's incredible. Like the talent is just amazing.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
She's incredible. She's a lovely girl as well. And then the second feature is a guy called Man Like Bro. He's a fellow Southern African. He's from Botswana, the country I used to live in. Funnily enough, the story of me and him is we actually lived in Botswana about the same time. And he went to the same school as my brother and sister.
No way.
Yeah. So we probably would have crossed paths, do you know what I mean? And we only found this out way after we recorded the tune.
Did you play sports or?
Nah, he's a bit older than me, so I was still in the primary and he was in like secondary.
I was thinking like, what if you played like, I don't know, like rugby or something?
Nah. I would have been like small, but he probably would have crossed paths with my brother and that. And obviously like, he's a light skin like me, so being light skinned, him and my brother, they must have crossed paths. But me and asked my brother if he knew him, but yeah. But he's on the song called Cobain, which actually I should have mentioned that tune when I said which was one of my favourites, because that tune is fire. I mentioned earlier that my dad's one of my biggest supporters, and I wanted to pay homage to him. He loves rock and roll music, and one of his favourite artists was Nirvana, Kurt Cobain, and I was always really kind of obsessed with Kurt Cobain. I loved how talented he was, the aggression, the pain, the emotion, and one of the first concerts I went to with my dad was Courtney Love, which when I was like 16. What's that, like a long time ago. We went to go watch Courtney Love in Birmingham at the O2 Academy, I think it was. We went to go watch her, me, my brother, and my dad, and my dad he was always so fascinated in like artists. He'd always explain them, and so I was talking like he's dead. He still does this. He explains.
I love your dad.
Oh, he's a G, man. Shout out Michael Alderson. Mi padre. Te amo, padre. Said it like a panoyon. Yeah.
Michael. Man like Michael.
Man like
so
Michael.
I didn't know that was his name.
You know? No. G, man. He's honestly my fucking hero and my biggest fan. I can't sing his praises enough. I love you too, Mum, as well. I don't want you to feel left out. But my dad you know how now we see an artist on like Instagram or whatever, and like we know their backstory because they're sharing it on their stories. My pops knew all this shit before like there was social media. He was really invested in the artist, and he knows about, if he liked them, he knows about their story. Even now, me and my pops went to go watch a fucking whenever he comes here, but let's go watch a show. Let's just go to a random bar. So I took him to Broodnell, and there was there was a band, or I can't remember what they're called. There's this girl, Marissa and the Moths.
Oh, is this a while ago?
About a year ago, yeah. I went to go to Marissa and the Moths, yeah. Marissa and the Moths, right? And imagine this, yeah, I've gone to go visit my dad in Spain 6 months later, and my dad's got the fucking CD in the car, yeah. And like he knows about the history, and he knows. Bro, I swear to God, that's where my obsession for music comes from. Marissa and the Moths. Bro, he's there like, bro, he goes there and he's like, oh yeah, they used to have this girl in the band, but she left and she's doing her own thing now. Bro, I swear down, honestly, but that's what my dad's like. But anyway, back to the point about Kurt Cobain. He told me about like, I remember, bro. Imagine I'm like 6 years old. I'm like 6 years old, bro, in the car. Did I get it right, Marissa and the Moths?
Yeah, active from 2017.
Yeah. Anyway, bro, so imagine I'm 6 years old. I'm 6 years old in my dad's passenger seat. I remember my brother and sister in the back seat. I'm in the passenger seat on like some fucking carrier in the little kid, the booster chair.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, my dad's playing Kurt Cobain, and my dad would just tell me the stories, unfiltered. 6-year-old me. And he'd tell me about Kurt Cobain. I'd be like, he's like, yeah, Kurt Cobain, one of the best of his generation. I'd be like, what happened to him, Dad? Put a gun in his mouth and blew his brains.
When you were 6.
And I'm 6, I'm just there like, look up.
What does that mean, Daddy?
But obviously, these things, you don't forget them. I'm there sitting in a chair, idolising my pops. He's telling me these stories. So, Kurt Cobain, and then he told me that, like, the whole conspiracy about Courtney Love. So I remember when I was 16 and I went to go watch Courtney Love, I'm thinking, oh, this is the woman he told me about all these years. So, my song Cobain is about a love tale where you love something so much that it's kind of killing you, do you know what I'm saying? And it can be dangerous, do you know what I'm saying? That's where it comes from. So if you listen to the song, it is really quite an interesting song. It is a special one as well. I don't even know, I can't remember, I was probably very intoxicated when I wrote it, but yeah, it's a clever song, and yeah, inspired by one of the tales of this Nomad.
And that one, I'm just gonna say that one's definitely getting the most streams on that.
It is insane.
Just,
I ain't gonna lie.
It's got every time I finish it, I'm like, I'm gonna listen to that again.
It's a banger. It's
just like the replay bar on that is crazy, crazy, absolutely crazy. I was wanting to talk about Keep You On Your Mind. Personally, to me, Keep You On Your Mind is a special track to me.
That just got featured in Chicago. It made it onto the local Chicago radio station.
Yeah. It did.
Peaked, I think when I last checked, it peaked at number 14.
14?
Yeah, I was ahead
Chicago?
I was ahead of Offset. Like, they put me ahead of like the Offset tune. I think I was ahead of it. I can't remember, but yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Sorry, guys, I really am poorly, but the show goes on.
Yeah, the show always goes on. We never stop.
Yeah, that's it. Keep Me On Your Mind. It's a bit more pop in it. It's a bit more poppy. Like pop rap in it. That sort of Drake rap, I'd say.
Yeah. In a way, yeah.
Drake, yeah, like it's like
a almost sort of a modern R&B.
Oh yeah, R&B pop, I'd say.
Yeah,
I definitely say there's pop influence in it.
Yeah.
Because ultimately, what is pop, bro? Pop is just popular music, innit? I think it's just like
it's whatever's popping.
Yeah, it's like that. It's digestible, innit? It's digestible. You can have it on the radio, you can have it wherever. I think that's why I got radio play so early.
Yeah. No, I was just saying it's a special track to me because as some of you may know, I helped Zulu record this in the studio. It was a while ago now, wasn't it? I think did we record it in September at Leeds Conservatoire, which is the uni that I've just finished, by the way. Before we had this incredible studio space which Krids built. Yeah. Most importantly, I'd like to give a massive shout out to Tom Prodex, who we call him Priest. He did the mix and master on this tune as well as his own.
He had little jingles into that shit.
His own bit of production as well, and he also mixed and mastered the entire album as well, didn't he?
He did. Don't want to give this guy like a half-assed introduction because as well as me, there's Krids, there's Rangu, and our fourth member of Wavio Records is Tom Prodex. Like Rangu said, we call him Priest. He is a legend. I'm not gonna lie. I think he's been juggling a lot, but that guy's been putting in the most work, and he's not been getting no recognition. So I want to give him a big thank you. I want to give him his flowers. We are gonna have an episode where he comes on, but yeah, he mixed and mastered the whole album. We released a song called "Need Your Love" by Tommy Taylor. He mixed that as well. He's mixing and mastering pretty much everything. Obviously, Rangu just finished uni now, so he's gonna be doing a thing as well. But
getting the ball rolling now.
But at the time,
getting the ball rolling.
You know what I'm saying? Priest, he's on the ball, and I don't know where we'd be without him, if I'm honest. And shout out to Rangu, because Rangu brought him on. He's your childhood friend, isn't it?
Yeah. We went to school together. Went to that music school.
It was a wicked addition, man. But let's not talk about him too much. I want to have him on.
We will save that for when he comes on, and he'll be on very soon. You'll see that.
You'll see
that. Yeah, man. I mean that's pretty much. I feel like it's time to discuss the Wavio plans for Africa.
For Africa, but you fucking just gave him the spoilers, mate.
Did I? Oh, it was not supposed to.
Right. Well, I want to take this time to announce that So we started building Wavio 8 months ago, and we had the vision. It all started with me and Krids because I've said it before. Krids was making beats for me. We had a space, and we could streamline. I can help write songs. I know how to market. I know how to do all these things. And then Krids could also do the behind-the-scene production stuff. And I said, why can't we do this for other people? Why can't we streamline this? Why can't we help other artists? Because for such a long time, I didn't know what I was doing. And I wish that somebody who knows what I know now could have helped me. And we had the goal of doing this for people in Leeds. But, you know, we've built this up now, and, you know, kind of, we've realised what works and what doesn't, and we've found now 2 artists who we are signing. We're going to announce very soon. Obviously, at the moment, there's me, there's Krids, there's RK Switch. That's it at the moment. But then we've got 2 artists that we're going to bring on board, and it's all part of this expansion that we have going on, where we really want to work with a lot of African artists. It's something that's close to my heart, because I feel for too long, African artists have been underrepresented, have been undervalued and underappreciated. You know, people just think it's Tyler and Burna Boy, but there's a whole continent bigger than any continent on this planet. Yeah, I think it's like 3 or 4 times the size of America. That has a wealth of talent, which we want to discover. And as I said, we've already discovered 2 of them, but that's just the first of many to come. So watch the space. But yeah, we want to revitalise the Afro beats, Amapiano. I got to shout out Linda as well. Linda Ray. She really like kind of. She's, after her episode, you know, gave us a lot to think about. She gave us a lot to think about, and it made us realise there's a gap in the market which we intend to fill. So yeah, exciting stuff.
Very exciting. We love it.
Yeah,
we love it.
And Rangu's gonna be involved.
Oh,
I've got to shout out Rangu as well, because you know, I might be the one making the moves, but Rangu's been kind of like he's been my scout, do you know what I'm saying? The chief of A&R has been out here, you know, saying, yo, Zulu, look at this over here, look at this, look at that. And obviously it's giving me options to do things. Yeah. So things are really happening. So yeah, man, watch the space. Tales of the Nomad is out on all major streaming platforms right now, yeah? Go watch that. Go stream it. The Narcissist is out. More music videos are coming. Rangu, is anything else you want to say?
Like and subscribe, and you get an ice lolly.
You might do. You might even win £1 million. Who knows? Just click that subscribe. You might get £1 million. Someone might knock on your door, and you might get $1 million. Wavio way, baby. New episode next week. Let's go.
Let's go. A bit.
Let's go.
Oh, that was good, that.
Yeah? Hey.
She sing my name. She a wild one, she cannot be tamed. The love to my Cobain. Yeah, she blowing out my brains, but I can't get enough of her just singing out my name.